Good afternoon from the second age of reason. It's a wonderful Friday the 13th, a time for prognostications, and since it's between the primary elections and the general elections, it's a great time to leverage your power as citizens. You have the most power right now. Now's the time to write to the candidates and attend their functions and let them know what you really want, what you expect. And so, I'm going to just give you a few bits of information. Some of you may be planning not to vote. And I'm going to go over the different kind of voters there are, because they're saying the election is going to be extremely close. And that's what they want. They want 49.4% to 49.6%, and the remainder third party. And so, how it shakes out in the end is somewhat adjustable on those small of differences. So what we're going to do is maybe change the spread a little bit. And the reason it is the way it is because so many people do not vote. I would say half of them vote that could. The others stay home. Why? Because maybe they don't care. Or maybe they think it's corrupt and everything is rigged. Maybe they just say, there's nobody I want to vote for. Or, I don't know the candidates well enough. Well, we have several months left. So you have time to do your homework. And I want to propose that you vote for third party. The biggest problem they've been saying is that money is in politics. So the best way to combat that is not to write your congressman because they're in it, and not to write the president because he's in it, and not to write the Supreme Court because they're in it. The best way is to vote with your conscience. Vote against money. Pick the poorest candidate, and that will show that money will not buy this election. So, you say, but third parties can't ever win. They can't unless you vote for them, so please consider voting for them. If you say you don't have time to learn about them, you have several months until the general election. Look up third party presidential candidates. Google it. It's on Wikipedia too. And look at, say, Libertarian Party, Green Party, Constitution Party, Justice Party, Communist, Socialist, you name it, they're all out there. But they don't get much attention because so many people just ignore it. They have apathy. Now, I'm going to go through the types of voters. One is the kind that will always vote Democrat. And for them, I'm sorry, I have nothing for you. Go off and do your thing. And then there's the kind that always vote Republican. I'm sorry, go off and do your thing. I have nothing for you. So then we move to the people who do vote, but they vote for the lesser of two evils. The trouble is, whether you're voting for, like a Hitler or a Stalin, you still get evil in the end. So the lesser of two evils is not really a good strategy to vote. And you'll say, oh, but we can't let the other person get in, this other candidate, it's just going to be trouble, terrible. So you end up voting a similar strategy. It's called least worst. And least worst is also bad because you still end up with the worst. And another kind of voter is the kind that will just go there and maybe just chicken out and not go at all. They kind of care, but they say there's nobody there. Well, now is the time to choose third parties. Pick one. If the 50% are staying home because they don't like the choices, if they don't care, that's enough to tilt the scales anyway. So the idea now is we are not out to win exactly this time. We're out to make a statement. We're out to show that there's 50% more voters out there so that there could be a third party if we just got together and agreed on it. So get out there and vote for your third party. The people who don't even care, you have nothing to lose. Just go out and do it. If you're not registered, register. And then you can do it. If you say you don't know the candidates, you have time to go and Google it or read about them in the newspapers or ask or attend things. You have months, so it's not an excuse. If we can get like 70 or 80% voter turnout, here's what will happen. Instead of the 49.5 to 49.5%, that could vary a little bit, you'll have 26% versus 27% versus 40% of a third-party mixture. Now, what that will show then is that most people are dissatisfied with the Demo-Publican machine, and that shows there's a great opportunity. If the third parties could maybe come up with a left third party and a right third party sort of thing. And you could just leave the other two moneyed parties counting their money, which we'll tax later. So that's just what I want to get across, is that even though your third party cannot possibly win, it'll set the stage. And then what will happen is the state-controlled media, you know, the ones, Fox, CNN, MSNBC, they'll just say, oh, well, it's amazing that there's like, 42% voted for third parties and write-ins. But we don't count them. Suddenly their true colors are exposed. And that will hopefully awaken other people to say, but I voted for that third party and you're not even going into what? Or who? So, that's my advice. Third party this year. If you don't have one on your ballot, because I'm sure some areas will exclude them, write it in. And that's just my advice. Let's see what happens with that. I know I'm going to be voting for the Green Party myself. And if she's not on my ballot, I'm writing her in. And that's the only way we can make progress. If everybody sits down and votes for the same two idiot parties, you can get the same idiot system. Everybody complains about stuff, but you're not going to get anything to change unless you change your habits of voting or not voting. Spoilers. Don't worry about the spoilers. What's your conscience? Get out to your research, and on the Tuesday in November, make it known. So until later, we'll be seeing you.